You're listening to The Hardpoint with Onexpunchxdad and Code Rome's.
Welcome back to the Hardpoint episode number 42, baby. My name is Josh. I go by Onexpunchxdad online.
My name is C-Murd. I go by Cody.
You flip-flopped it. Which is it? Are you the?
You'll never know.
Will the real?
Know.
Will the real C-Murd please stand up?
I'm like smoke.
He's
He
bobbing.
never grabbed me.
He's bobbing. He's weaving. What's he gonna do next? I don't know.
Never He's crazy.
We're learning to live with it. We're learning to deal with it here. Hey, we're back. Let's see. It feels like it's been a while since we recorded. We got into a pretty good habit of recording on the weekends.
Yeah.
But you had a pretty stacked weekend. Do you want to talk about that?
I do want to talk about that. I got to say, though, I got to shout you out right before this. I thought this was funny enough to say. The camera pops on, and I have no shirt on. And Josh, the truest ride or die, the truest, didn't ask a single question, threw his fucking shirt off across the room. And let's go. Summer started. It was awesome. And then I was like, well,
I thought we were doing no shirt podcast, man. I was ready to rock and roll.
He's waiting for the no shirt. One of these times.
When you start a video call with someone and they answer.
Yes.
And they have no shirt on, you have two options. One is to be a dork and say, where's your shirt, bro? Option two, which is the one I went with, is just to read the room.
Yeah.
And act accordingly. And that's what I did.
That was a very quick analyzation and quick action on your part. Is that a word? Analyzation?
Analysis. You and any word that has anus or anal in it, man, that's not your friend. Analyzation.
Analyzation.
We'll be
that's
right back.
Definitely not what I was looking.
We got a fun
Definitely
show
not what I'm
lined up.
looking
We're
for.
going to talk about a show that just came out with its final season, The Umbrella Academy. We both watched it the whole way through. Another fourth season, final season in this case. We're going to talk about that today. But first, I got to ask, because you were on a journey this weekend, man.
I had a busy weekend.
You had a busy weekend. A happy occasion, to be sure.
Yeah.
Do you want to
You
elaborate?
said you got to ask me something. Well, I didn't say I gotta ask
How did
you.
it go? I don't know. I know what happened. I'm just trying to tee it up here. This is podcasting.
A question from you was going to be my cue to speak.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, what'd you get up to, man?
I went to a wedding, and not only did I go to a wedding,
You were up in that.
I was in the wedding.
You were up in that wedding, weren't you?
I was up in that wedding. I was
Nice.
up in that wedding as a groomsman. My new and I was going to say improved, but he's already great. my new brother-in-law, Caleb.
Shout out
We've
Caleb.
gotten really shout out Caleb. It's my wife's sister who got married, and she's been dating a guy was dating and then got engaged, and then most recently got married. So me and him have been really close for a while. But there is something about like them sealing the deal, and us going from friends, to like, okay, we're actually brother-in-laws now, like it's official,
Definitely.
So it feels cool. Me and him get along very well. We like hanging out. The wedding was awesome. I was very honored that he asked me to be in it. And they got married. I got to say, we live kind of in a weird spot of DFW, but their venue was north, like north, like Pilot Point north.
Okay.
And we live north. So we had like a 20-minute drive to this venue.
Yeah.
And everybody else drove from Fort Worth, had like an hour and a half, 2 hours.
They had a hike.
So it is the shortest distance I've ever driven to a wedding or attended a wedding ever from where I live. It was great. Nothing but back roads for like 20 minutes, and then we were there.
Yeah.
Big, beautiful venue, giant house. Apparently, a really rich family used to live there in the 70s. It's so big, you don't even understand how it could be a house. It looks like it was built to host parties and venues and stuff. It was beautiful. But everything turned out great. It couldn't have been better. Didn't have to give any speeches, so I was involved. I had the honor of being involved, but
That's
not
good.
so much of an honor to have to speak or anything.
So it's funny. Sorry, not to cut you off. It's funny because Amber, who is Caleb's now wife,
Yes.
she and I, for your wedding, were the maid of honor and the best man, respectively.
Yes.
When speech time came, she had prepared, like she had written and rehearsed a speech, and we were standing there with our little champagne glasses, waiting to do our thing. And she looks at me. She's like, "Where's your speech?" And I was like, "It's up here." And she was like, "You're just gonna talk?" And I was like, "Yeah, I don't know. It just seems like it would be more sincere, don't you think?" And she's
It's
like,
a speech.
"It's a speech, yeah." And she was a little flabbergasted, not mad, but she was just kind of like, "Oh, all right." Hers was lovely. Mine, I don't even remember what I said. Do you remember what I said? Did I say?
I remember bits and pieces of it. But one of my biggest regrets of that wedding is I didn't have it recorded. I remember things you said, but I don't have it front to back.
It's such a blur. That whole day was a blur.
I know it was. I kind of blame Amber, jokingly, but kind of not, because she was so terrified to give the speech. She didn't like speaking in front of people.
Sure.
She didn't like all the eyeballs on us.
She's a lot
That
more
she
reserved
kind of-
than I am. I'm a loud
She is.
I'm a loud asshole. She's quite
She kind of like backed herself into a corner where not everybody could see her, and she started very abruptly. I remember Taylor and I were like still over at the cake, and I just feel like we heard like the the microphone feed hello everybody, and she's kind of in the shadows over there. So I remember it happening very fast.
Yeah.
I wasn't prepared for it, and I didn't get to record your speech, but it was beautiful. It was off the dome. It was so genuine. And if I could change, I feel like I had the perfect wedding. If I could change anything, though, it would be to have your speech
a
recorded.
videographer.
Yes.
Yeah.
We didn't have a videographer at all. We were trying to have a budget-friendly wedding.
Yeah.
But yeah, I wish somebody at least would have caught it on their phone or something. So that sucks. But other than that, yes. You are truly a fire from the hip guy, and you're very good at it.
Well, I don't know about that. But the speech thing is a good thing to be off the hook for. Like it's definitely like to go to a wedding and not have to do that. Perfect,
Right. Yeah.
perfect,
I'm in it. I'm sitting at the long table up front. I'm the first in the food line. I get all like the benefit. We got there early. We had the guys' room. We're drinking beer. We're hanging out. We're watching TV, shooting pool. Like, it was awesome. But I did not have that cloud hanging over me. So
That's
I would have
good.
done it if he asked. I would have. But, I'm glad that I didn't have to. So it was great. My wife had to give one. She was the maid of honor. So
Yeah.
Yeah,
Was she
but,
nervous?
yeah. Yeah, but not so much like a crowd of people.
Right.
I think it was a big deal.
lot
Her and
of-
her sister are very close.
A lot
so.
of emotion, sure.
For sure. It was very much that.
was
So
good.
wedding was great. Rehearsal dinner was great. 3-month-old babies. It's crazy. She was very good at the rehearsal dinner and the wedding. She was
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
And then it turned 8:30. And like a switch was flipped inside her. Like it's past my bedtime. I'm in
Yeah.
a strange environment.
Yeah.
It was like clockwork both days. I mean, she was great right up to that minute, and the clock struck 8:30. She's done.
It's the witching hour, man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was great. But great weekend. What did I do Saturday?
I will say this. I know your sister came to town for the wedding.
Yes,
She
yes.
she and Amber are friends. Did she bring cherry donuts?
You know she did, bro. And I ate 10. She had 2. I had 10, like in one day.
Yeah. My man.
Dude, I make all the exceptions in the world for cherry donuts.
Dude.
And they don't cease to like blow me away.
If they ever change the
time.
recipe, we riot, man. We are gonna go to Amarillo, our hometown, and we're gonna burn it to the ground. Don't change. The cherry
We
donut
won't have
recipe.
problem.
Yeah. Yeah.
We gonna have a problem.
need-
Anyways, that was my weekend. Yes, my sister came in. We celebrated my mom's birthday with her, and so it was good. It was a busy weekend, but it was very, very good.
Very good.
Very good.
Good. Yeah.
What about you?
I didn't go to a wedding and I didn't do anything particularly of note. This kind of maybe feeds into my crushings a little bit, but I have recently gotten back into playing Call of Duty on a fairly regular basis.
Nice.
Which I do stream on my YouTube periodically, so check that
Heck
out.
yeah. And we're gonna stream together.
We are. We got a plan together. We got a plan in motion. We're gonna do it. Call of Duty, man. Let me tell you, it's a really good time for a facelift to. So I haven't been playing Warzone, and I know for a lot of people, it's so crazy because up until 2020, when COVID happened and all that stuff, when you say I play Call of Duty, you meant I play Team Deathmatch, Free for All, Domination, Search and Destroy, yeah, all that stuff.
Or Search, yeah.
Now, I feel like when people say I play Call of Duty, they mean Warzone. I don't mean Warzone. I like Warzone. It's fine. I imagine Cody and I will play some when we stream together in the future. But I like multiplayer. I just like the Domination, Search and Destroy, Free for All. I love those. Those are that is the quintessential Call of Duty experience for me. Traditional. I will tell you, there are elements of playing that recently that show me that this IP, this franchise, has really, really lost its way. There is so much goddamn silliness in Call of Duty now. And I mean, it's not a new thing, right? We've had a Nicki Minaj skin for 2 years, 2 years or something crazy, right? Like, there is so much craziness going on in that game. And it's like, I'm trying to think of how to frame this. Fortnite has crazy characters, right? It's basically Roger Rabbit the game, right? It is, you can be Rick from Rick and Morty, you can be the alien from the Aliens movies, you can be Peter fucking Griffin, you can be Solid Snake. But it makes sense because it's kind of cartoony and silly to begin with.
It's the bill.
The base characters look like cartoons, right? Call of Duty is real looking people. Like, if you have like, the character models in Call of Duty look like real people, but they're still wheeling out these Fortnite looking skins for people to play with. And it doesn't look fun and silly the way it looks in Fortnite. It looks ghoulish and weird, and no, it looks very
It looks out of place.
It looks very out of place and odd, and all the guns glow and shoot glowing bullets. Anytime I get killed now, it's no longer I get shot and fall over. I get disintegrated, or I get turned into a pile of Legos, or shit pours out of my eyes. I don't. Every new skin comes with like crazy abilities, and you're like lasering people to death or vaporizing them. It's very, very odd, and it sucks because I liked Call of Duty for a long time because it was a very low threat, low entry level tactical shooter, and it doesn't feel like that anymore. So I say all that to say I feel like I'm complaining.
No.
I'm really hoping that Black Ops 6, which you and I are both fairly excited for.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I'm really hoping that takes us back to a very neutral, quasi-real feeling Call of Duty vibe.
Nothing will be more disappointing than that game launching and you can be fucking Wiz Khalifa or something. Like, just, I don't want that.
Exactly.
I don't need that.
I mean, nothing but love, Wiz. But
love Wiz, but I don't need him in my Call of Duty.
No. Could not have said it better myself. Oh my God.
Yeah, no, I agree, man. It's been a while since I've played like traditional COD.
Yeah.
I mean, you and I played, it was Warzone, which is fun. It's hard to turn and burn those as much. It feels like each round takes a lot more out of you. It's more like mentally exhausting. Because in traditional, there's not a lot of strategy. You're running around and you're shooting people. You're not thinking 3 moves ahead or where should we go or should we stay? Should we go? It's just go.
And
shoot.
especially the games where you're consistently getting into the top 10. You get back to the lobby and you're like, I need a breath. Like,
yeah.
I need a minute.
Yeah. So I'm hoping Black Ops 6. It looks sick. I want nothing more than a regular game.
Yeah, give me that. I understand things are changing, but I feel like there's enough that you could do. Like, the thing about Call of Duty, like the campaigns have sucked for a couple of years in a row. Give us, I've said it on this podcast. I really want the campaign to reach out and say, hey, take me for a spin. I would love that.
Some time with me.
Yeah, give me some characters that I'm going to remember. Give me some moments I'm going to remember. I get it. Most of Call of Duty's like cinematic campaign moments are ripped right out of movies. Make me feel like I'm in the movie. I'm good with that. So anyway, been playing Call of Duty. That's been my.
Well, on that same note, I feel like maybe you kind of got away from liking this. I want to play DMZ again.
I don't know, man.
What do you not like about it?
I think it's hard to put my finger on. It is one of those things because it's not that I don't like it because it's an extraction mechanic. I loved Helldivers. You get in, you fight kind of impossibly hard bad guys. You unlock stuff while you're there. That's kind of cool. You can bring it back with you, and you leave. I like doing that in Helldivers. I think because I'm so used to what Call of Duty has traditionally been for me, I don't like doing it there. And that's part of it.
I remember some of the funnest or most fun moments, though. We're just trying to be like that moment where you've called the extraction helicopter, but it's not there yet.
Yeah.
And your head is on a swivel, and you're looking up this hill, down this hill, looking at those buildings over there. If you hear like an engine in the background headed your way, like your butt gets real tight. The ending is so tense and exciting to me.
It's true.
And just kind of like trudging through the map and finding where you want to go. And then like you get that contract or you complete that mission and then realizing the job's only half done. Yeah. Now we have to make it all the way over here and hope that we can survive before, or until that helicopter drops.
I did enjoy aspects of it. It was the stuff like, I have to find 8 rolls of tape.
Yeah, that's kind of lame. It could very much be like the memory is fonder than the reality. If we fired it back up, I might be like, this kind of sucks. I don't know.
I'd be more than willing to give it another spin. But the fun for me in Call of Duty is always primary is always going to be multiplayer. Yeah. I've really enjoyed. I broke a sniper rifle out. Which I had gotten gold camo on, so I've been I've come into it kind of like low threat, low stakes, so I'm not like trying to level up any guns. I'm using the guns that I just know I'm good with, and just playing some matches. I'm streaming normally, so I got the chat there, so I can kind of hang out with them. But it did also kind of remind me how much fun Battlefield 5 is, and we talked about that today on text. Really satisfying sniper play. I think I'm also about to break that one back out as well.
Legit bullet drop and the kill marker or the kill audio.
The cling,
like the
cling. Yeah. It's a good
there's
feeling.
Nothing. Call of Duty has very satisfying kills and sounds, but nothing is cleaner than the sniper cling out of Battlefield.
Yeah.
Makes you want to keep coming back.
Quite an auditory reward, to be sure. But anyway, hey, that's a great point because I've already that was pretty much a what are you crushing. But we'll segue into our first segment here, what are you crushing, where we talk about whatever media that we've been getting by on the past week. And since I just talked at length about something like that, I'm gonna kick it to you, man. What are you crushing?
Got two for you.
All right,
I don't want to steal your thunder. Are we gonna say the same thing?
I don't know. I don't think so.
Okay. Are you going to talk about an album that came out recently?
I was definitely going to throw it a mention, but I'll let you do the heavy lifting here.
Okay. Well, I have absolutely front to back on repeat been running Phenomena From Within the Ruins.
Yeah.
Oh man. It's
It's amazing.
Dude, there's something. What is it about this? There's a lot of groove, man. It was one of the two singles that came out, not Castle in the Sky. What is the other?
I don't have it on the top of my head. What I do want to say while you're looking for that is there's not a weak moment for at least the first 6 songs.
Right.
Which is insane.
I don't even fucking remember which. The Last Sun, I guess it is. Demon Killer also stands out to me.
Yeah.
And that's the 3rd most streamed song. The Last Sun, it's a lot slower and groovier. And there's this part like halfway through where the tempo and the beat just goes like, it's when he's like, I can be the martyr. And it's like, dun, 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 and the drums and everything's just like on this weird tempo, this weird beat. It's not like blast beats. It's not fast. It's not heavy, but it's so groovy and catchy. And I feel like there's a lot of those moments on this album.
Definitely.
Along all the stuff that you expect from them. The fast, the heavy, and more of arguably my favorite stuff that they produce, their instrumentals. There's like 3 instrumentals on this.
There are, and they're all good.
Death Mask, dude.
Yeah.
I listened to that like 4 times in a row today. It is awesome.
This is a band, man, that like they're not afraid to be, I'm going to use a word that sounds maybe not going to sound right, but whimsical with their riff writing. Like some of their riffs, not rifts. Their riffs are so wild. Like you just don't understand where a brain has to go to get to that.
Right.
And they are so good. And their last album was a departure from the one before it. This one is less of a departure, but it is definitely a signal that like, hey, we can keep doing this pretty much forever. Like we can write music like this. And it's all going to be good. There's not I'm telling you, the first 6 songs specifically, the album front to back is good. But the first 6 songs specifically are just one after the other. Like I could put those 6 on repeat for several hours.
Oh, yeah. And the mark of, I know you and I are a big fan of this, but when you can make a guitar part something that you want to like sing along to or hum along to.
Yeah.
As if it were vocals. There's a few parts on here where like a lead guitar will kick in, and it's like it's almost as if somebody's, not that it sounds like somebody's singing, but it has that drive and that power to it. It's not just like a boring riff. It's something that you want to, it gets stuck in your head and you kind of want to like hum to it or just make a noise to it.
Yeah.
There's a lot of that
in here. Some of it's quite technical, but Cody and I usually enjoy most of our music in the gym, and after about 3 or 4 listens, you kind of start to get the kind of the meter to it, and you do find yourself like and you figure out like the gallop to it, you know what I mean? And it's very.
I would love to see all the tracks on some of these songs, like the audio workspace, the file.
Oh yeah, insanity.
Because I mean, it's a lot, man. The production that goes into this. And you're right, the last album was a departure from the one before, but their sound largely in the last like 4 albums is more or less the same. And it is just as good and just as exciting to me now as it was the first Phenomena. And that was 3 albums ago. Like I don't know how they keep almost doing the same thing, yet I eat it up. Like it's like the perfect band to me, dude. I don't know what it is, but they're just like crack. I think you and I both say that the vocalists are probably, not that they're weak, but probably it's not what you pull up for. You pull up for the.
I will say he's got some moments on this album, and I can't call any to memory right now, but there were a few moments where I was like, even on their last album, you know, where the body bag line, like that's really good. I think he has several of those on this album. Like he is starting to kind of stand out in a way that's like, all right, this dude's not just there yelling while these musicians.
I think where he excels is these, like what you just said, these one-liners right before a drop or something. What he doesn't have to me is a lot of like character or inflection in his vocals. Like there's not a lot of blah or arfs or like
Arf.
things like that, but or like guttural stuff. It's kind of just like he stays within this like same range of screams, but these one-liners he has like as something drops or over some of the music. Yes, I totally agree. He has some awesome moments. I think there's a Master of Puppets reference in here. There's one song where he says it goes from, dude, I tried to listen to a couple times. Which one is it? All can't remember. Dude, one of them he said it goes from something, which is the title of the track, to a Master of Puppets or something like that. It was pretty cool if I heard it right.
Yeah. It's rad.
Anyways, love it. Love it, love it, love it.
Phenomena 2 by Within the Ruins. Their album just dropped
great.
this week. It's fantastic.
And my second thing, real quick, I'm actually on a bit of a diet. Not a crazy diet.
Oh, okay.
I'm doing something called, I want something sustainable. And ever since I had a baby, before the baby, I was like tracking macros on this workout plan. I was feeling better about myself than I ever have. And then we had the baby. Things started to slip. You know, it happens. It's all good.
Right.
But trying to clean the diet up a little bit because this weekend I had 10 donuts, probably 5 cupcakes. I had 2 brookies at dinner. Like I went crazy with the sweets. I just didn't hold back. And so I'm doing something. It's nothing crazy, but nothing but whole foods.
Okay.
And so it's not necessarily an amount of food. I have a protein goal, my minimum I have to hit there. But other than that, it's just whole food. So any type of meat, dairy, fruits, veggies,
rice,
nut. Yeah, like, well, rice isn't really like a whole food.
Is it not?
No. I mean, it's like a bread. It's like basically nothing processed. Like it needs to be like a natural food, a whole food.
You know how much, you know how many tons of rice I've eaten in my life thinking like this is plants.
Well, hold on. Is rice whole foods?
Don't break my heart. Come on.
Whoa. Yes, rice is a whole food.
Let's go. Let's make some rice right now.
Because I know bread's not. And
Bread's
I thought
not.
rice was just like little grains of
Well,
bread.
yeah, but you can't go pick rice out of, or you can't go pick bread out of a field. You got to like grind it into grain and use flour and eggs and shit. Rice.
I think you're right.
Rice you can get off the.
You just got me pretty excited. Okay, so like chicken fried rice. I can have that because it's chicken and it's rice and it's veggies.
Let's go. See, I just broadened your aperture a little bit.
So I'm trying to slim up, dude. I want to get fucking cut. I don't want to be like 8% body fat, something unsustainable. But I do want to get down to like 12. Like I want to see abs. I want to be cut. I want to look good. And I was on my way there before the baby was born. And so my wife and I are kind of doing this together. She looks great, but she's trying to get back to where she was pre-preg. And I want to get to where I was trying to go pre-birth.
Pre-babe.
And so we're kind of doing this together. So yeah, great workouts thanks to Within the Ruins and doing this whole foods only diet. We'll see how it goes.
I love it.
That's when I'm going to do a shirtless show. And I'll do it standing up back there so you can see me.
Just like this the whole time. Love it.
Yep.
Love it.
What art thou crushing?
I didn't realize I already did kind of like talk about one in my what have you been up to this weekend, and then the other one we're about to talk about. So,
Cool.
May as well just get into it. All right, so this week we're going to talk about a show that Cody and I have watched. We didn't watch together. I actually did not know it was even on his radar, to be honest, up until a couple weeks ago when he mentioned that season 4 had come out. But the Umbrella Academy, which is a Netflix exclusive, released their 4th season. And I'm kind of curious to know first what you thought. Because again, this is not something I knew that you were aware of at all. Mm-hmm. It's definitely not something that you typically would go for, I feel.
No, like series as a whole or season 4?
Maybe just your general impressions of the series as a whole, and then season 4.
Man, there's a few shows I've watched in my life that like really stick with me, and as I'm watching them, I just can't get enough of it. Like you look forward to the next one, and this was one of those shows. Me and my wife started watching it a long time ago, so it's kind of been like our show together that we've enjoyed.
Yeah.
And every season just is good. I don't know if it's the characters, I don't know if it's the story, but it just takes you places that are. It's fun. Like it's just a fun show to watch, and I like it, man. It's I don't want to say it's like the best show I've ever watched, but it is one of those shows that I would put it up there. Like I'd put it up there in my top 10 for sure. I love The Umbrella Academy.
Damn. Okay.
It's really, really good. Yeah. And season 4, I won't get too deep into it right now, but it was a little shorter, 6 episodes.
Right.
Which honestly, I kind of welcome that. I like 6 to 8 episodes, short and sweet. But it did feel like a lot happened in not a lot of time.
Yeah.
But I love The Umbrella Academy. 10 out of 10. I would recommend it to anybody. I love it.
Man, the top spot goes to Umbrella
How do
Academy.
you feel?
So this is not a show that I actively wanted to watch. I'm going to be honest. Yeah. As soon as it got going, it has, and I'm not trying to be elitist or snobby here, but it has this kind of Tim Burton quirkiness to it that I don't love and don't typically gravitate toward. But I will admit that a couple episodes in, season 1 snagged me, and then it was done, and I was like, neat. That's pretty cool. Season 2 came back around. My wife loved it. She was on board for the entire way. She same as you. She's probably a 10 out of 10 as well. Season 2 came around. Wasn't that urgent to me. She wanted to watch it. Once again, 1-2 episodes, I'm like, By the end, I was like, all right. Also neat. Season 3, copy paste, same reaction. 2 or 3 episodes in, I'm like, oh, okay, all right. I'll stay with you. But I thought about it nonce between seasons. Not a bit. So season 4 came around, and we had been between shows, and I was like, I feel like the thing to do is to recommend that we watch this show. So let's finish it up. Let's finish what we started, right? I hated season 4, man.
Really?
I really did. It wasn't that it was short. I will say I'm with you. If you got a story to tell me, 6 episodes ought to be enough.
More than enough.
Yeah.
Usually, yeah.
Sometimes once we get to like 7 and 8, I'm like, okay, all right, maybe there's a lot going on here.
Yeah.
I think The Boys does 8 episode season, and there's moments in that show where you're kind of like, okay, all right, let's move it along, please. So maybe if you cut all that out, 6 episodes is adequate. I don't know. You hit the nail on the head. There's so much happening, and it all happens in 6 episodes.
Yeah. I feel like it needed 8.
I feel like maybe I wouldn't hate it so bad if it was 8, honestly. There is, and we'll do a spoiler warning before we talk any spoilers here. We probably won't go too deep into it, but there's so much that's introduced that feels pretty fucking pointless. I'm not gonna lie. There's a lot of stuff to me that they rolled out that might have been more important in an earlier season, but was not pivotal to the plot in any real way.
Right.
In season 4, and I was just kind of not even bored, just kind of confused. Not confused either. Like I understood what was going on,
right?
But I just didn't enjoy it. Does that make sense?
It does. I feel like I agree with everything you're saying, except that I hated it. Your feelings towards it, I do kind of like echo that. I felt the same way because every other season, me and her have flown through it. Like it was one after another after another.
Sure.
One would end and you just couldn't help but to watch the next. It pulled you through. And this one, we watched the first 2, and maybe it's because we got more going on now. I don't know, but we watched the first 2, and then probably a week elapsed before we ever made it back to it. And it was kind of one of these like, okay, do you want to get? Yeah, we should probably get back to that. Let's get back to that. Let's finish it. Let's see it through.
The
And we
first
watched a few more episodes.
The first episode is so boring.
Yeah,
It is so boring.
Yeah, and we had watched 5 episodes, and probably another week and a half, maybe 2 elapsed before we finally watched the finale last night.
Yeah.
So there was nothing, like if it's good enough, you're going to find your way back to it sooner rather than later. And we were like in no rush to finish it. So
sounds like
I
that
agree.
10 out of 10 slowly becoming a 9 and 8.
You know, I don't let the last 6 episodes tarnish. Like at its peak,
The total
It was
package
really fun to
total
watch.
package for you is a 10 out of 10, yeah?
the total package. And I didn't hate this last one. I thought there were interesting aspects. I thought the alternate timeline. Well, should we spoiler here?
Yeah, hey, we'll go ahead and do an official spoiler warning here. We're going to take probably the next, I don't know, 10 to 15 minutes and talk season 4 Umbrella Academy spoilers. So if you haven't seen it yet, you don't want it spoiled for you, just fast forward until you hear us answering some emails. You'll be all right.
Yes.
All right.
So,
Spoiler territory. Let's go.
like, there were moments where they went to that small town.
Yeah.
It was earlier, and it was a big long scene, and then like everybody in the town kind of like turns, and then it ends up being this big fight.
Yeah.
I don't know why that whole scene was really like, it was just kind of an eerie, like, what's going on? Like you're in this tiny town out in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
And then you start seeing one guy like kind of talk to somebody else. And you can tell like there's whisper amongst the crowds. And then they all kind of start turning on the
main
people
characters.
that,
Yeah.
yeah. There were scenes like that were really interesting. And then the whole, like, what is it? When you remember something differently, you know, like two sets of people can remember the same thing, but differently.
Oh, like not Mandela effect, right? Like
that Mandela effect.
Yeah.
Exactly. That was kind of the running theme, is like the group of people start realizing that like they're remembering things differently than how they happened, or they're remembering somebody else's, you know, memories or lives. And that's kind of where it's the anti-Umbrella Academy group or whatever that's growing underground. I thought that was an interesting, like, I don't know, unique plot. And this whole series has just been alternate universes. This world is ending, multiple timelines. You know, it's just all over the place. And at the end, I guess the idea to kind of tie it all together is that it's not going to be okay. Like everything can't just be fixed. And so at the very end.
So I want to talk about the end because the day after, I was like, fuck this show. I was so disappointed, and it felt very anticlimactic. Here's why that ending doesn't work for me. So for anyone who's seen it or is content to have it spoiled for them, the Umbrella Academy dies. They sacrifice themselves because they realize that in every time, as long as they exist, every timeline that they go to or get launched into, whatever, is going to experience calamity, right? The world's going to end. And unless they die, that's going to continue to happen, and the timelines are going to stay fractured. But if they all die, the timelines converge back to a single canon storyline, and everything goes back to normal.
Not only die, but cease to ever exist.
Yes, there's no memory of them. There's no, we will remember the Umbrella Academy. They are gone, good and gone. They just do that. Once they have that revelation, there's no creative, like, Doctor Strange, like, hey, we're gonna do some time magic. No, they realize that, and then they let the mutant monster who is tearing the world apart, I guess, kill them. I feel like the reason that ending doesn't work for me, and it's strange because I thought about this. Every character in The Boys kind of hates each other. Mm-hmm. They're all super rude to each other. They all at one point are like hitting each other in the face. They're calling each other asshole. And they're doing that in this show too, but there's way, way less chemistry. These are some of the most unlikable main characters. And I think that's part of what kills me on the show is every one of the main characters in Umbrella Academy sucks, and not in a good way.
Yeah.
Homelander sucks, but he's fucking awesome to watch.
Yeah. Yeah.
Even the Deep.
I can't stand
the Deep is a piece of shit, but he's fun to watch.
He's a good example of terrible character, but great to watch.
Yeah. None of these characters do that for me at all. They're completely irredeemable.
I can't stand Victor.
Victor gets on my nerves. He's a baby. I don't like the rumor chick. What's the curly haired chick?
Yeah.
She's whiny and annoying. I don't like. I think the only character that I kind of like is Five.
Okay. What about the mustache guy that can throw swords and shit?
Annoying, man child.
Really?
Totally annoying. Big muscle arm dude guy.
Yeah. He's kind of funny.
Fucking hate him.
Jeez. I don't like Victor. That's the only one that really rubs me the wrong way. Five can rub me the wrong way when he gets this very like arrogant.
He's an asshole too, but
yeah.
I think because he is he's the straight man, like he is the only one in the group who like kind of understands what's going on. I hate him the least, I guess.
Right.
I like the kid who plays him is like 20 years old, which is crazy. He's actually a really gifted actor. Everyone else is just annoying. I don't know, like the British girl Lila.
Yes.
Don't like her. I don't. And it's nothing against the actors. I know they probably worked hard on these characters, but I think there is a oh my God, what's his name? The dude who gets buried alive. What is that dude's name? I can't remember.
God dang. I'm terrible at character names. Hold on.
Dang it. I just watched this show. Damn it.
I know. We just finished last night. I'm about to have
Luther is the strong arm guy.
Yep, that's Luther. Victor, Sloan, Lila, Luther, Five, Allison, Klaus.
Klaus fucking sucks. I
Diego.
hate Klaus gets on my nerves more than anyone. And then the dad is a dick.
He sucks. He's terrible.
There's a weird. They have Nick Offerman and his wife are in this movie as they're in the show. Excuse me.
Yeah.
As the villains, which I thought was going to be really cool because I like Nick Offerman.
Oh yeah.
I like that he does stuff with his wife. They're not really on in this show. They're not really like Nick Offerman could have just been like someone's cousin.
You don't think like? Are you saying like the size of their role?
No, just how they played it.
Oh,
like if you pay a named actor like Nick Offerman, you know, like you really want him to like ham it up, or not like ham it up, it'd be silly, you know, like he played a very serious role in The Last of Us, you know, but you want him to, I don't know, produce something that no one else can make. Anyone could have played that character.
Yeah,
I don't know. I'm very.
Is that his actual wife?
Yeah, Megan Mullally and Nick Offerman married in real life for
I didn't know that
quite some time. Yeah.
See, everything that you're saying about season 4, except hating the characters, I don't. I just feel I don't know. I don't feel that way about it.
Sure.
But I agree with everything you're saying about season 4. But we sat here and said the same thing about The Boys. Season 4 was the least strong, but to me that didn't really like taint the entire series. So this was my least favorite Umbrella Academy season. I enjoyed it the least. It was the least interesting. But amongst 3 seasons that I thought were so good, you know, being the least interesting isn't necessarily like saying it's terrible. It's just the least good amongst 3 really good seasons to me.
I think it depends, because I think we did agree that season 4 of The Boys wasn't its strongest season, but it also didn't taint my overall enjoyment of the show. Like I said, it's still one of the top, at least maybe 5 shows I've ever watched.
So this was so bad that
this made me realize how badly I didn't like the other seasons.
Oh, wow. It really did that.
Yeah, and it's just very inconsistent in tone. Like, in season 1, there's a dude who is a fishbowl. He has a fishbowl for a head. Why? Like, why? Because it's silly and quirky. I don't give a shit. Why did he have a fishbowl head?
What about the gorilla or the monkey? Did you find that weird?
Yeah, but like not in any kind of like, well, it works for the story way. It was dumb. The world of the Umbrella Academy is just frustrating to me.
The whole like the JFK line or the storyline, like
some of that stuff's cool. Yeah, when they go back to the 60s and it's like civil rights stuff is going on. Sorry, my camera's like out of focus as crap. That stuff was neat. I liked some of it, but a lot of it I don't.
Interesting.
Anyway, I'm not trying to crap on your enjoyment of the show. But
it doesn't make me enjoy it any less.
But yeah, I came away from this relieved that I don't have to watch it anymore.
Do you ever watch a show that just like I put Stranger Things in the same category? How do you feel about Stranger Things?
I would rather watch Stranger Things.
I love Stranger Things. Like everything that I just said about Umbrella Academy, like it stuck with me. It was one of these where it came back around. Like
it's neat.
It just it pulled me through that series. And have you ever watched a show that just makes you feel like it's gonna sound really weird? It just makes you feel like happy and comfortable, and you're watching it, and it's just a fun, enjoyable watch. That's how I would describe the Umbrella Academy to you. I don't know if you judge shows on that sort of.
I feel like
the way it makes you feel. I don't know.
I feel like because of all the craziness that does happen in this show, it's probably better served as like an animated show. I feel like there's a lot of stuff in here that's like the fishbowl head guy in season 1. As a cartoon, that probably makes more sense. In real life, it's like the Call of Duty Fortnite thing. In Fortnite,
what about in
sense.
The Boys? The Deep has gills. That's not weird.
That's less weird than him having a fishbowl for a head.
So if the Deep had a fish head, Chase Crawford's body, but a fish head.
You know his name, huh?
Yeah, it's Tony Romo's brother-in-law.
Hold on. What?
Chase Crawford, the Deep, is Tony Romo's brother-in-law.
What? Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like his sister is married to Tony Romo?
I don't know in which way. I just know they're brother-in-laws. I know they hang out all the time.
That's nutty, dude. Okay.
Yeah.
Blew my fucking mind here.
I think it's Chase Crawford's sister is Tony Romo's wife.
Tony Romo's wife.
Yes, I'm fairly certain that's what it is.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Neato.
Learn something new every day.
Very cool.
And he was in I don't know. It's a show that my wife watches. The Gilmore Girls or Mean Girls or one of those shows. It's like way too long.
One of them girly shows.
He's in that.
He's up in that. All right.
Anyways, I like Umbrella. Josh hates it. And that's okay.
I don't.
Not for everybody.
I don't hate it, but I don't. I like it is. It is in the 5 out of 10, 6 out of 10 territory for me. It is like I was content to just stop watching every season midway through. There was never a point where I was like, I have to know what happens next. I didn't care.
What did your wife think about season 4?
You know, I think she enjoyed it, but I actually didn't get a meter reading on her after we watched the final episode, and I kept meaning to ask her, like, hey, how'd you feel about that dog shit finale we just watched?
I don't really like the ending being these characters that you've spent 4 seasons with.
Deleted.
None of it ever happened. Just forget it all. I don't love that.
And in a way, as someone who didn't like the show, that's ideal. They just, poof, they're gone. Because I didn't like one of them. Like, none of one of them was like, oh, please don't kill that one. All right, bye. Adios. And then they have this weird, like, this lava monster, like, envelops them, and they have this weird, like, moany death where they're like, and it's like, I don't know. I was weirded out and disappointed simultaneously.
It's a weird mixture of emotions.
It is.
It takes a special show to do that.
Yeah. Anyway, we'll lift the spoiler veil if you're just joining us. I didn't like it. Cody did.
I thought season 4 was okay, but the series as a whole, still love it. Knowing what I know now, I'm not gonna rewatch it ever. But like now that I have all the information, I would, if I was going back in time, but still had this information, watch it again. I wouldn't unwatch it. We had a question last time. I didn't read it because I couldn't come up with an answer. But it said if you could unwatch, unread.
That's a write-in. We're gonna use that.
Okay. Okay, I was just gonna reference it, but we'll actually.
That seems like a good point to transition to our write-ins for the week.
Yeah.
Hey, if you go into the description for this episode, there is a link to our Discord. If you go follow our Discord, you can hop into the channel called Questions for Pod. You can leave us a question. You can leave us an answer. You can leave us a statement of charges. We're not paying for shit, though. This first one is the one that Cody just alluded to. I'm not cutting that, by the way. From Unhinged Cactus. I love that username. First time writer, I believe.
I think so. I would remember that name.
Welcome to the fray. And it's a really good question. If you could unwatch or unplay any game, what would it be? Mine is likely going to be Interstellar. Something about that movie haunts me, and maybe that makes it a good movie, but I could honestly see myself being better having not watched it. I don't know if I feel that way about Interstellar, but I like.
I've never seen it.
No,
I pre-read that question, and it made me want to watch it even more because I need to know what this guy's talking about.
Unwatch a movie.
Is this the one with all right?
Yeah, McConaughey's in it, but he doesn't say that. He cries because he can't see his children. Yeah, it's dark, which is hilarious to me. I think a movie, there's one scene in a movie, I'm usually not grossed out by like gore effects, heads getting cut off, guts falling out, don't care. The Boys did not. I think there were a couple moments where I was like, oh shit, like when the heads were getting popped, but
yeah.
There's a scene in a movie that I refuse to ever watch again because it upset me so bad. Have you ever seen the movie 127 Hours?
Give me a little bit more.
It is the dude from Spider-Man who plays Harry Osborn. What is his name?
Is this the hiker that gets
the hiker goes hiking, gets his arm wedged between the rock and the wall of this cave. Man, why can I never remember actors' names on this fucking show?
James Franco.
James Franco, thank you. I knew it was a J name. The whole movie is him being stuck, pretty much. It is largely that, like him surviving and trying to get out of this situation. His arm is well and truly stuck. And the movie's been out for over 10 years, so if this is a spoiler, then I'm sorry about you. He cuts his own arm off to escape. He cuts it off with a pocket knife. And there is a part where he is cutting a nerve in his arm. And the way that is portrayed and the sound it makes is fucking upsetting. And it sets my teeth on edge. It is so... It's well done. It's kind of like this guy, right? It was done so well that I can never watch it again. And honestly, I probably could have lived my entire life without watching it. But the arm cutting off scene was just a little too well sold in this movie. So yeah, 100.
A little too real.
127 hours.
Give me a little bit more description on this scene.
He's like, the arm is mostly off at this point, I feel like.
Okay.
And he's cutting through meat, and he's obviously not doing great because he's probably losing a lot of blood. And it's like it looks like a wire in his arm, and it's supposed to be like a nerve or a tendon or something that's got a lot of nerves on it. And he cuts at it, and there's this stinger sound of like, nying, and it's like, you could tell he's like grimacing as he cuts it because it is his central nervous system's connection
Oh.
to the limb that he's cutting off. And it is completely unsettling. It's terrible. It's terrible.
Oh.
It's
okay.
well done, but it's terrible. Yeah.
Wow.
So
I feel like I need to see it, but
you're gonna YouTube that shit as soon as we hang up here, aren't you?
no, things stick with me. I'm very squirmy, man. Like,
Yeah, like bone tomahawk.
Yeah. I don't know if maybe if I saw that in like full context, if it was bad. It was fucking gnarly. But there's something about it that seems so like that would never happen to me. You know, like, I don't know, your arm getting stuck and having to cut it off seems more likely than being flipped upside down and chopped in half from the dick down by two cavemen. You know what I'm saying? Like,
both unpleasant. Both unpleasant.
I was going to ask, is he asking this what you could unwatch so you could experience it again for the first time, or the way that you guys answered?
I thought about that, and if that's the case, I would just unplay every game I've ever enjoyed, because the diminishing returns are real for like Skyrim, Red Dead Redemption 2, Red Dead Redemption 1, fuck it. Like any game I've ever played, like, was always the best the first go around. You play them again if you're able to play them again and you find other stuff like Mass Effect. My definitive playthrough wasn't until actually like my third or fourth playthrough where I got to do everything and save every crew member I meant to save. My first playthrough was a fucking nightmare. Everyone died.
Yeah. I think for mine, there's a lot of things I've watched and seen where afterwards I'm like, you know what? It's not a movie. It's not a game. I've seen some stuff on the internet.
Oh, yeah.
That I kind of wish I could not. Like, it's one of those things where it's like, how close to the fire can you get before you get burned?
Yeah.
And there's things on the internet that you might see in a movie that is actually fucking happening.
Yeah.
And like heads getting cut off, people getting shot, like horrible, horrible things.
Yeah.
That, you know, it's one of those where it's like you think you want to see it, and then you see it, and then you just wish you could hit the rewind button on your life.
The worst one. I was on Reddit just cruising, looking for anything else but this. And I saw a video of a dude who's working on a lathe, like something that spins like a piece of metal. And he got stuck in it, and it sucked him up. And it wrung him, it literally shredded him and wrung him out like a wet towel. And it was I laid there in bed for hours, just like eyes wide. Like I just watched a man become pulled pork. It was bad. Yeah. It was fucking terrible.
Yeah, yeah, man. I mean, I saw this one where this dude shot his fucking cousin while the cousin was sitting there begging for his life. Like, just horrible.
Yeah,
horrible
you don't
things,
think about how awful it is to see someone get shot. Like it's
until it's like, well, that was real.
Yeah, it's not like the movies are like, they're like, ugh, you know, like, no, people getting shot is actually like, doesn't look anything like it looks on film, especially when it's shot with some like low res wobbly like phone camera. You're like, it just adds to the creepiness.
And the crazy thing is, and when you think about this, it's kind of more mind blowing. Like your average person, I'm not saying if you're in combat or a police officer, the average Joe should go his entire life without ever seeing anybody actually get shot. That's just something that you're most likely not going to witness unless something terrible happens.
Right.
But you see it so often in games and so often in movies that you think you know what that's like. So when you actually see it, you're right. You said it perfectly. It looks nothing like it's portrayed.
Yeah, agree.
So yes, I've seen a number of things on the internet when I was younger where
anything on Live
Leak.
I could not. Yeah, Live Leak was just like a nightmare hellscape.
Don't go there.
Don't do it. Don't go there.
Yeah, that's my answer.
All right, we'll do one more and then we'll call it for the night. Let's see. This one comes to us from our old friend E-Wolf. Welcome back, E-Wolf.
The last one.
Oh, woo. Yeah, it's the last one.
Cool. Sweet. Looking forward to that one.
What do you guys workout splits? I recently started doing upper and lower body splits, and it's actually working for me. I'm glad to hear that, E-Wolf. I'm seeing a lot of growth. Okay. Do you guys switch around your splits a lot, or do you keep them the same? Kicking it to you.
So right now I'm on one that I really like. My measure for how long I stick with something is typically until I get tired of it, or like until I stop looking forward to going to the gym and doing it. With having a baby right now, I've had to get more efficient with my workouts. I don't want to sacrifice going, but I no longer have an hour to an hour and a half to be in there. I don't have that. So I still alternate weightlifting days with cardio days. I just every other, no days off, but just every other weightlifting cardio. Cardio just consists of 30 minutes on the treadmill, steep incline, 3-speed, easy. My workouts, each workout is a push, a pull, a leg, and then I will crush either tricep or biceps. I'll flip those, and then a shoulder, because I'm really trying to grow arms and shoulders. So I do those every workout. The secret for me to making a workout more efficient is your push and your pull. So basically your chest and your back.
Yeah.
I combine those. I superset them to do something that I can do at one station. So one thing would be like military standing press at a rack, right? Mm-hmm. So that's pushing this way, paired with pull-ups. So you're pushing and pulling on the same plane. Another one would be I'll do like incline dumbbells.
Yeah.
And then on that bench, you can turn around and like do the rows where like your chest is against the bench and you're doing rows.
Yeah.
So you do that. And then a third one would be the cable rows where you're sitting and you're just rowing straight up like this.
Yeah.
And then I'll pair it with doing push-ups right next to it.
Okay.
So you're no more than 10 or 15 minutes into your workout and you've knocked out your chest and your back.
Yeah.
And then from there, I just alternate legs. I either do Bulgarian split squats, which suck but give you meaty legs.
Yeah.
Or RDLs with dumbbells. And then from there, I just crush some arms and pair it with like shoulder, like lat raises or something. And I can get in and out of the gym with a sweaty, giant pump in 30, 35 minutes, something like that.
They say that's ideal, between 30 and 45. Yeah. Anything more than that, you're probably doing too much.
Yeah, man. But combining those first two has been a game changer. You just get them knocked out and, you know, that's what I'm doing right now. It's working for me. So, and it gets me in and out in a good time.
I love to hear it, man. Actually, that gives me a lot of motivation. I've been getting in there and trying to just get by. I honestly, I'm not, I don't want to say lost my way, but I've literally just been kind of in survival mode the past couple months doing my workouts. So feel good. I feel like I don't look like shit, but I'm definitely not like peak performance. And I'm trying to get back to that because I always feel better when I did see a video of me from about a year ago, and I was like, God dang, I look good. What happened? So I'm trying to get
print
back.
that and put it on your fridge.
Yeah.
Look at it each morning.
Exactly. Yeah, it's motivation, right? But yeah, no, I'm doing a lot of chest and back. It's similar to what Cody's talking about, but I'm kind of just doing it by muscle group. But yeah, chest and back, and then I have like an arm and shoulder day, and then a leg day, and then I just kind of start that rotation over again. I like the idea of alternating lift and cardio days, though. That's something I have been wanting to get more cardio, but it's difficult to implement. That's something I feel like I could easily do.
It's working great for me. And there's, you know, sometimes when you work out 3 days in a row, like your body's begging for a rest day, you know, by then. But I found it works out because 1 week you'll do 4 workouts and 3 cardios. And then the next week it'll be 4 cardios and 3 workouts. So it's basically a 50-50 split, but because there's an odd number of days in the week, it'll alternate. But, you know, over the span of a month, you're basically having 15 lifting days, 15 cardio days, and it keeps them fresh. You know, you're not doing one thing too much. By the time the workout day rolls around, I'm excited to do it. I haven't done it 3 days in a row, you know. And then cardio days is just my day to watch fucking YouTube videos for 30 minutes or something. It's easy.
That's right. Great question, man. Thank you for that. And I'm glad your workout's working out for you, E-Wolf. I hope you see continued results and success from that. that's going to do it for us this week. Episode 42. Fuck Umbrella Academy. I never want to see that dog shit show again. I'm just kidding. No. It was fine. I'm glad it's over. Hey, we're going to be back next week, episode 43. So stay tuned for that. Got some good stuff coming. We're excited for that. Yeah.
I think we'll be streaming this weekend. Maybe tune into that.
We might, yeah. I think we're gonna hop on together and play some games. Maybe some Call of Duty, maybe some Battlefield 5. But I'll have Cody in the chat. So if you want to see us both doing a thing together, come over there, slide over to my channel and do that. It'll be fun.
Come on in. Come on, slide under my wing.
I want to wish you all Baja blessings. Bad jab blessings on your little heads. Peck, peck, peck. Thank you for watching. We'll see you. Like, subscribe, leave a review, all that stuff. We'll catch you next week.
Now.
Do it now.
Now.
Do it now.